How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the Across the River podcast. I'm Dylan Shalom, back again with Ben Gans. We took a week break because I was sick. Won't be happening again unless I get sick again or Ben gets sick. I don't even know why I'm speaking that into existence. That will not happen. But we are here to discuss NFL free agency, the NHL as a whole right now, free agency, and the whole shabam. We're going to have two guests on with us, Ike Busch and Jacob Kapplan. I'm really excited to have this talk. And Ben,
Same.
how are you doing?
I've been good. I've been good. Still some interesting moves in the football world with the franchise tags.
Yeah.
And I think I see some moves. So I'm gonna say it right now. Saquon Barkley either to the Bills, Texans, or Chargers.
Okay, so Saquon is not getting the tag, but I again wouldn't put it past the Giants to extend him because we've seen how important he is to that offense when they didn't have him last year. They went from a playoff team to a team that won 6 games. He was healthy for a little bit, but where the Giants were missing Saquon, I think the Bills have a James Cook who is not as good as Saquon, but he is valuable and he is cheap. Where the Eagles have a DeAndre Swift who is solid enough, but he's not Saquon, but he's also on a cheaper
Mhm.
contract. The Chargers, that's a pick that they can get in the draft if they're really looking to rebuild. I don't see Saquon. I see the Texans because they have so much money to spend, but I don't see Saquon in Buffalo, and I don't see Saquon in. I could see the Chargers, but I think they're more likely to use a pick.
My vision with Buffalo is they just cleared so much money, so they must be going somewhere.
No, the reason they cleared that money though is because they're freeing up because they have to pay Josh Allen $47 million this year. Once that QB contract hits, and it's gonna hit, and it hits for them this year, you have to clear up space. They need to start hitting on some draft picks. And not to say that they
Mhm.
didn't make some good picks last year. Kincaid already looking to be a great option. And then even in the last couple of years, they missed on a Lamb. But other than that, their first round picks have been pretty solid. Osiris Torrance this year is a good pick for them. But they really need to start hitting on some skill position picks. And James Cook is a good start.
I'm giving my claps to the Buccaneers. They didn't franchise tag Mike Evans. They
Didn't
got him on a
franchise
2-year
him, they
deal.
just
Now
signed him.
I know some people feel uneasy about the signing because of how much he's getting paid and how old he is.
He's earned
But
that.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's 2 years. What are you gonna do? Like have Trey Palmer and Chris Godwin be your? You need Mike Evans on that team.
No, there was no way they're
So
gonna let him
that's my
go,
opinion.
especially since they haven't re-signed Baker yet. That could go in a multitude of
Mm-hmm.
directions as to what they do at quarterback. But I think bringing back Mike Evans pretty much can confirm that Baker will be coming back as well. Try to run that back another time, even without Dave Canales. I think the most interesting tag, in my opinion, was T. Higgins. I was surprised they did that, given that they already have a wide receiver one in Jamar Chase, and the wide receiver franchise tag is used for top five in their position. T. Higgins is not anywhere near that position of top five. So I found it interesting that they did that. But if they want to go with that two-pronged attack, it's kind of what you have to do. Tyler Boyd isn't the same as he used to be. Joe Mixon might be on his way out after this year. So if you really have to, and they might extend him, they might pay him a significant chunk of money after this franchise tagging, but I thought it was very interesting that they used it on him and they didn't wait to use it on a different position.
Mine was the Ravens, to be honest, because I wasn't expecting that. Them
Matabike,
re-signing. Yeah,
Matabike, Matabike
I was
was
thinking like
phenomenal
Patrick
last year.
Queen. Isn't Patrick? I'm pretty sure
No,
Patrick Queen is almost
Matt, no, they're
upset.
both in the same spot. No, they're both in the same spot, but Matabike earned that more than Patrick Queen, in my opinion. He
You
he
think?
was he was immense last year. He was the reason that interior pass rush was so good. One of the best defensive linemen of the entire season. I think only Dexter Lawrence, Quinn Williams, maybe Christian Wilkins, and Aaron Donald, those guys, maybe you could say Jonathan Allen in there, but Matabike and Chris Jones. There's some guys, but
Quentin
Matabike,
Williams.
yeah, I said him. But Matabike is he's in there in that elite conversation, top five defensive tackles. He definitely earned that. Michael Pittman also a little surprising, just again because it's
That was a nice. That was good.
usually designated for a top five player in the position. They
I
need
mean,
number one though, so it makes sense for them.
he is their wide receiver one, and I would say in a few years, given the right. He could be top 10. I think we've seen
Yeah,
sign for
given the,
him,
I
so I
mean,
think it's possible.
if Anthony Richardson really starts to pick up and that becomes a good duo, I can see it. Michael Pittman has all the tools. He's tall, he's fast, he's got great
Mhm.
hands, good catch point. He's a good player. I wasn't stunned that they did that. I was a little surprised though. So
The
other
Bucks franchise tagging Winfield, though.
yeah, that needed to be done.
What do you think about that?
He was the most
That,
important.
that was huge. I
He
think
was
that
the
makes
most
sense
important
why they.
player on their defense last season for a safety. That's very rare. So that was not
Mhm.
surprising to me that they did that and they needed to do that. I'm
That kind of
very
relates back to why they didn't franchise tag Mike Evans.
yeah. I mean, they were able to pay him 2 years, 51 million, which is it's a lot of money, but it's receiver money. It's top five
Mhm.
receiver money for arguably top five receiver. So I don't have a problem with that. Uh, Denver getting rid of Russ, which we saw coming. Where does Russ end up?
The Giants or the Steelers, one of the two.
Giants or Steelers? Where do you see Giants
As
here?
a Jets fan, as a Jet fan, I would really like to see him at the Giants because like this one would be funny.
Yeah,
But like I'm pretty sure he met with the Giants today, and I'm like it seems like they're really just done with Danny Dimes. So
I don't see that. I don't think so. I think they're testing out options, but I think they would more likely go to the draft and try to take a Jaden Daniels if he can fall. Or I mean, Drake
I don't
May's
think
not
he's gonna
falling.
fall.
I don't think they're gonna fall either, but there's still so much time in the process that you really don't know until a few days beforehand.
That's
But
true. Who else?
any more big takeaways on the NFL?
What about the Seahawks? Letting go.
Ooh,
How about all the free safeties and safeties that got released? Justin
yeah.
Simmons,
Yeah,
Quandre Diggs, Jamal
Jamal
Adams.
Adams, yeah, a lot of safeties getting released because in the modern day NFL, a safety is only as important as the box corners that they play with. So you can't be paying a safety, and Antoine Winfield is an exception, not a rule. You can't be paying a safety top money if they're asking for it because the matter of the fact is, if the corner that's guarding the receiver isn't good, it's not going to matter who's back there at safety in the modern day NFL. I mean, there's to every extent there is a difference. But schematically, I mean, you saw they labeled Jamal Adams not as a safety, but as a box player in the press release instead of it labeling him as a safety because he really does not cover. So I mean, it's dependent on what scheme. I think if Justin Simmons goes in,
The Pats used their franchise tag on their safety.
yeah, and it makes sense for them just because that's the style of the brand of defense they have is
Mhm.
very versatile safeties. We saw with the McCourties, with Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers. What we see with them is they're all over the secondary. It's not like they're a safety; they're a secondary player. So that's where I think there's an exception going in. And then, of course, with like a Minka Fitzpatrick or a Javon Holland, there's a
Mhm.
different kind of there's a different kind of gravity to paying a safety than there is for a Jamal Adams or a Quandre Diggs. That's kind of where I feel.
I was just looking through like who got released in the transactions, and I saw something actually interesting. The Buccaneers released Shaq Barrett.
Yeah. So
I don't I
aging,
don't know how I feel about that.
there's only so much money you can spend. They had to spend on Winfield. They had to spend on Mike
I mean,
Evans.
you're saying aging, but he's 31. Like
Yeah,
he's
that's
still a
aging.
top player.
That's aging at this point in the NFL, especially with the defense that they have. That's a very old defense. Levante David is an old piece to have as the middle linebacker. Devin White isn't exactly young anymore. And I mean there's some young pieces. Yaya Diaby was a front runner for a part of the year for defensive rookie of the year. But overall on that defense, I see old pieces that need to be replaced sooner rather than later. And getting rid of Shaq Barrett is the start of that, even though he still could be a top player if he finds himself in the right scheme. I just don't think I don't think it's wise to keep him as the top edge rusher on that team anymore.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. How about the Dolphins signing Giannis Smith? Thoughts?
It's just very cognizant of what the offense is trying to do, get the ball into the hands of a fast playmaker. And Johnny Smith might not be the exact option that you would want at tight end. It's a low salary option, but he's someone who fits the scheme, someone who can block, someone who is capable of catching a pass, which we saw towards the back end of the season. Julian Hall and Durham Smythe were not able to do. So it really just gives Tua a real safety blanket where he didn't have one anywhere past the line of scrimmage last year. So last year we saw a lot of Devon Achan behind the line of scrimmage when there was nothing. Now you have maybe a 4 yard check down instead of a -1.
That is true. So I think we should go from one transaction to another. How about the NHL?
Yeah.
And let's bring on our special guest.
All right. So we got Jacob in here now. Just
Welcome, Ike Busch and Jacob Kapplan on. Let's get right to it, to be honest. As the NHL deadline just wrapped up. So, who are you guys winners and losers for the deadline? Ike, do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'll start. I'm a Devils fan. I'm not crazy about the way their season's gone for obvious reasons, but I think they did pretty well at the deadline. I'm not going to call them a winner. I'm just going to address that. I think that they did the right thing in selling, and it's almost, as a Mets fan, it feels the exact same way. Like we had a terribly underwhelming season, and at least the
Mhm.
team had the guts to say, okay, well, we're not good enough to compete. It's time to sell. So at least they didn't go in and dig themselves deeper in a hole and buy. So I think selling was the best call here. I liked some of the sneaky moves, but I think the biggest move obviously was the Tyler Toffoli trade for
it had
Winnipeg.
to be
I
done. It
think
just had to be
Winnipeg,
done.
first of all, it had to be done for the Devils, but the Jets, I think, win the deadline getting Toffoli. I think they also brought in Colin Miller, who's not good, but again, just like adding more players into to their depth, and this team is really scary. So I think the winner is the Winnipeg Jets. I think they're
That's
an
fair.
excellent. I think they're definitely. Um, I think they're an excellent team now at this point. They've always been good, but this puts them, I think, over the edge. And in terms of losers, I don't love the return the Penguins got back from Jake Gensel. Uh, I know a lot of people say it was a steal for the Penguins, but I think Gensel's so valuable, and I think that they could have gotten a little more personally. But I know the Rangers were looking to give him, I think, Kako and more, and that
Yeah.
just didn't end up happening. But I think
I'm
that
glad we didn't.
I think the Penguins just could have gotten more, but again, good idea to turn him for sure.
All right.
Vegas Knights, I think obvious winner.
Yeah.
Gans, you
I,
stole
I
my
vote we,
line.
I vote we relegate them. What do you guys think? Just get them out the league.
Yeah. They're
Make it
doing
more
it too
fair.
well. They're doing too many right things. They gotta learn like the rest of us what it's like to be bad.
Exactly.
They,
It's
have
I
never
unfair.
think
been bad. It's have they ever not made the playoffs?
I don't think so.
They
they
haven't.
only once they missed. Only
When was
one year.
that?
I think
20.
it was the year after they made the finals.
Oh,
Didn't
okay,
make
like
it.
right after. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, not only are they in the playoffs, they know how to win playoff games.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt. Yeah.
The thing with Vegas is they use all their LTIR money. That's the reason that they got Hurdle and all the extra stuff they had.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
my winner, my first, I only really have one winner, and it's the Florida Panthers for being able to pull off
right.
Vladimir Tarasenko for a third and a fourth, someone who was phenomenal at the back end of last season. And he's
Hmm.
had trouble getting hot, but it's Ottawa. You expect that. He doesn't have much top tier talent to go
Right.
around. That's
Very
just
true.
like, I mean, that's an absolute steal for a team that's already
And they got Kyle Posko. Can't
yeah,
forget about him.
yeah,
Great.
top six loaded.
Which, by the way, how do you trade for the captain of the team like that? Just
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, I get it from the Sabres. They obviously weren't going to win this year. And this is probably, he's very old. He's on his like last run.
yeah.
So they probably talked about it. So they want to give him a shot at something because
I
being
feel
on the
like
Sabres and Isles his whole
yeah.
career is kind of,
I feel like Buffalo is like they're a young team, but like they had a couple old guys and they've been on the up. But I feel like they're trying to get back down to like the really young age.
so
I can see that.
so my loser for this window, and it might be a little bit. I mean, it's not for anything they did specifically, but there was a team in the Eastern Conference that needed goaltending and they didn't get it. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. They just did yeah, Tampa does not need goaltending.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They just did not get the move done that they needed to get over the line. And they had they had every chance to try to do it. Olmark was on the market for this entire window. Ottinger was on the market for some of this. Saros was on the. It's not like there was a lack of goaltenders that were on the market. They just weren't. They weren't able to pull the trigger and make that move that makes them legit Eastern Conference contenders. And for that, they are my loser of the deadline.
I mean, they are the Maple Leafs, though. They always choke.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are we really surprised?
I
No.
mean, they just got past the first round though.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much there that's good, but the goaltending is so bad. So you can't win without competent
Yeah,
goaltending.
I get
They're
what you're
not. They're not. They're not going to make it far, and it's not even. And it is partially to their goaltending, but it's just that something's wrong. Something is wrong, and I think it starts from the top. And we've seen it year after year. They needed a goalie. You're exactly right. I completely forgot about the Lightning. Lightning. Look at that. The
Purple
Maple
team.
Leafs. They're dressed too similarly these
Yeah.
days, but.
That's true.
But yeah, I agree with that. That's probably a better loser than the Penguins was too.
Penguins were
So,
also on my list though. That's
I heard you were talking about Lightning, and you know what is also similar to Lightning? Hurricanes. I think they're a winner.
I
I think they're a straight winner there. They've bagged multiple players, to be honest, this deadline.
The
Kuznetsov,
Kuznetsov, yeah, he could
that
be a
was a good
sneaky
deal.
Gensel.
pickup.
Like
Like, that was impressive. Gensel, exactly. Like, they're clearly pushing. They're aiming for that first, but we'll see if the Rangers could push them off.
Yeah. Right.
The Rangers had I don't know how to describe their deadline, you know?
Underwhelming.
Because it wasn't like, it was underwhelming. Let's go with underwhelming.
Here's what the Rangers were. They were the Yankees of this year when the Yankees didn't know what to do. Well, obviously the Rangers weren't going to sell, but the Rangers bought in a very limited way.
Strange.
Yeah, in a
Strange way.
strange way. I mean, listen, you can't hurt. You gave up a 3rd-round pick in totality. Like it doesn't hurt, but probably could have gotten some more.
It doesn't hurt, but it was just not what I expected to see.
Yeah.
Like, because they were talking about Vetrano and Gens, so I was like, okay, I'm ready to give up Kako, whatever this haul's gonna be, and it was a draft pick and like it was like 3 picks in total.
Yeah, they were even saying Zegras, right? At one point.
I didn't even hear him on the
Oh,
market.
if we got Zegras, I would have been so happy.
It would have been like a Zegras Vetrano package or something. Like
They would have given up a huge haul for that.
a ridiculous trade. I mean, because they're both young, yeah, but
Mhm.
yeah, that would have been. I mean, if they were willing to give up Zegras, it really doesn't show us what direction they're trying to go in as an organization.
Yeah.
But
Very strange if they did.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the Lightning did do well though. They
I
got
thought so, too.
Adam Henrique. It's a good deal for them.
yeah.
And Duclair as well.
Yes.
Duclair, I wanted him on the Rangers. My loser.
I feel like what Duclair is he wasn't gonna fit well with this top line. Just for me, for the Rangers, I didn't feel that way.
Yeah, I see where you're going from, but I also think that you need depth scoring. So even if he doesn't fit with the top line, you can plug and play him somewhere, and it'll work out.
With the Rangers, it's you get a low line guy, put him on your top line, and he becomes a multi-millionaire guy by the next offseason.
Yeah, I mean, if we could do that with Holtz, that would be so nice. It's just, yeah.
My loser is the Kraken.
Ooh. Care to
They're
elaborate?
in the middle of the pack. They're like in the middle of. I'm looking at the standings right now. Okay, they have 67 points. They're middle of the pack in that Pacific. I feel like they could have gone out and gotten something that could have given that little oomph to get into the top 3.
Right.
The wild card.
I didn't even hear any rumblings about them.
Yeah, I didn't even hear anything.
Yeah, thought that was a little bizarre. There's a couple teams like that. I just thought that could have done
like the Wild. I didn't hear anything about.
I think a Busch to the Kraken would have been very impactful.
Yeah,
even though he wouldn't be a top line for them.
Anything they needed someone to. They still need a star. Like that's a team that's well built top to bottom, but they still need a legit star. So anything really, if they were in the Gensel talks, if they were in any real talks for a legit number 1 scorer, it would have been nice if they could have woken up. I like that pick.
Okay, you were talking about stars. Wait, the Stars are in first place in the Central.
The Central's close with like 2 points. It's within 2 points.
They didn't even make a move though. I'm looking. They just didn't even make a move.
I mean, the Stars
they
are
held on to
set.
Ottinger though. That was a huge thing.
Stars are kind of set if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 3 left wings on the roster, but they're also great left wings, and they've 1 right wing on the roster according to ESPN. So I think a Buchnevich again, perfect.
Yeah.
Would have been helpful there.
The thing with Buchnevich was his asking price was so high that I think even though the Blues were willing to say they were willing to retain 50%, they were saying it was 2 first-round picks is what they were asking for.
Right.
Oh, my fault. The Stars did get Chris Tanev. I forgot about that. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Very
that was
Devil's legend
Chris Tanev. The early ones.
Yeah.
What?
Devil's legend Chris Tanev.
Devil's legend Pat Maroon also got traded to the
He went to the Bruins.
Yeah. Devils legend. I didn't even know he was on the Devils until like very recently.
Yeah.
The
Would you say
tiniest.
Jack Edwards' favorite player and Pat Maroon?
Yeah.
Is the NHL trade deadline the best deadline in all of sports?
No.
Not
I
even.
would I would say the
The best
NBA,
trade
but
deadline.
it's so close. I
I
would say
think the MLB is just because
no,
if
I think the NBA does it the best.
I'll explain why MLB is the best. And this is something that you don't get as much in any other league. Obviously, there's the minor leagues, which allows humongous trades to go through. Juan Soto, the best player in the league, or one of them at the time when he was on the Nationals, he gets traded in the middle of the year, and all of a sudden he's going to an NL team that's willing to compete for a World Series. And obviously
Yeah.
they didn't get there, but that's crazy to me that they just traded like Mackenzie Gore, CJ Abrams, that guy, the fast guy instead of James Wood, and like so many other players just for Soto and a couple other things. I find it so cool, and like the ability to trade prospects makes it so much better because obviously there's prospects in hockey, but it's not the same as the
Yeah.
MLB
I
prospects.
definitely
Yeah,
agree.
so I hear you, and I can agree with it that that would be my second choice. But the NBA, just the sheer change in
Yeah.
a starting five that happens when you lose one player. Like Dallas made a trade, they got PJ Washington and they traded away Grant Williams. And like that doesn't seem that consequential. Now you look at them, it's a completely different team. And like,
That's
it's
true.
every move is just so much more monumental.
For
Yeah.
hockey, though, you have to think in that sport, the biggest names are getting traded. Most of the trades are surrounded around those big names, while in the MLB or NFL, it's just little names like nobody really cares about.
The NFL deadline
But in the
is nothing.
NHL,
Nobody gets
No,
traded.
the ML
NBA
the
is gonna get
MLB,
in.
I disagree about the MLB. That the bad teams are trading their best players. The bad teams trade the vet and this is, it's not always the case, but say you're the Tigers and you made a 2-year deal with some veteran that's hitting probably on pace to hit 25 home runs. You could trade him for a decent prospect. Like last year, think about it, the Royals signed Aroldis Chapman to 1 year. They ended up trading him to the Rangers for the rest of that year and ended up getting an incredible pitcher out of it. Like that you
That's
would
true.
never they never should have gotten the return. I'm for blanking on the name. Cole Reagans.
Yeah.
Reagans is now their top prospect or
Yeah.
would be, and he's already like he has like the 10th best odds to win Cy Young, and they got him for Aroldis Chapman. So like I think it's cool the MLB and the fact that like there's the prospects get dished around and some may pan out, some may not. And you can
Yeah,
look back at
the
years
farm
later.
system's just
The farm systems,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
Think
just
about it.
more
That you could say this differently. Think about how it would be different if the NBA or even the NBA does it, but NHL and MLB kids had draft picks more because the NFL draft picks are flying.
yeah,
That's
NHL and
true.
MLB draft picks can sweeten deals for sure.
right.
No, that's true.
It's depending when the pick is mostly because I feel like with the MLB, the prospects don't get are they like on different levels.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that's
That's also a thing though. MLB they don't trade draft picks. They
that's
trade the
exactly right.
prospects.
Right. They rarely do it. It's mostly prospects. So I guess the NFL draft I mean, obviously everyone knows the NFL draft is by far the best draft. So in that sense, well, besides some the NBA can once in a while have some good ones, but in generally the NFL draft is the
Yeah.
most
Yeah,
entertaining. But yeah,
that's true.
All right.
So,
So let's get to some immaculate grids.
wait. What about the Stanley Cup? Let's put in a little
Stanley.
early
My
predictions.
bad. My bad.
Little early predictions.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Canucks against
Can't
the
don't say.
Hurricanes.
I don't think they have the legs. I don't think Vancouver have the legs.
Now, okay, I would say the Rangers, but like whenever I say the Rangers are going to do well, everyone says I just jinx them. So
I mean,
But I
I'm
think-
not gonna say on here you jinx them, but I'm just saying the Rangers. You see, they never do well in the late rounds. It's
I think it's possible though.
So for me,
The Canucks have depth.
there's a lot of teams I like, but there's a lot of teams that I don't think have the legs to go in the playoffs. And in the East, I'm really between three teams, and I'm going to limit it down to two because I don't think Carolina are just. I don't think they're quite on the
After that deadline?
yeah, even after the deadline, on the level offensively as the Boston Bruins and as the Florida Panthers. These are the two teams that I think are spearheading their way into the Stanley Cup Finals. And the choice I'm going to make at the end might surprise some people. I think the Bruins are the best suited team to make the Stanley Cup Finals this year in the East. They have two goaltenders that are arguably top 10 in the league. They have the most physical defense in the NHL. And apart from a couple of unlucky loser points that they've gotten over the course of the last couple of weeks, this team has been on tear after tear after tear after tear. This week run right now, it's completely different in playoff overtime. So I think they could very well be the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. And I think that once they get hot, they'll be there. In the West, it's just Vegas. Like I'm not going to pick anyone other than Vegas until someone other than Vegas proves to me why they're better than Vegas. So I'm going to keep saying Vegas. I said Vegas way too many times.
Jacob?
Yeah, I'll hop in. I'm gonna definitely agree with the Bruins. I think that's you hit everything. The defense, it's like if you're a young team and you're trying to get past that defense, it's like a meat grinder. I mean, they're ruthless. And then they have offensive production from the defensive level, like McAvoy. Like he gets assists, he can score a goal. Goaltending, unbelievable. So I love everything starts from the back, and then they of course have a veteran, amazing offense as well. I love the Bruins. I think that people will sleep on them considering they might not necessarily even win the division or be the one seed, but in the end, it's going to be the Bruins from the East. I believe. And then the West is tougher for me. So Vegas, I think, is unbelievable. They're probably the best team in hockey, I think. But it's just something about going back to back. It's just it's always hard to pick that team, and especially always pick the top team on the list. So I like a couple other teams. I'm not going to pick the Oilers because it's a trap every year. And the fact that they have two real good players, then a couple other good ones, and then it's like kind of drops off. That really bothers me about the Oilers when it comes to playoff hockey.
They're
They
not
can
built.
win games, but
Canucks.
playoff hockey is not great. The Canucks are the team that I'm looking at. They're going to win their division. They're going to be the one seed. Can they get past some of these veteran teams? I'm looking at Vegas and Vancouver in the Western Conference Finals. I think Vegas is going to win it, but I'm going to pick the Canucks because I don't want to see Vegas win it.
That would be such an
Canucks
awesome Western
supremacy.
Conference final, though.
It really would. Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna start with the West. For the Canucks, for when there's a new team in the playoffs, for me, it's all about experience because you see how it gets at first teams, like teams that are starting to get into the playoffs. They're not the best in the first couple rounds, but if Vancouver can get through the first two, like Ike said, it's all about if they can get through Vegas because Vegas is incredible now. I'm so excited to see how Hurdle ties in with them. But it's for me, it's either Vancouver or Vegas. But I'm gonna say Vegas gets past them in 7 because it's what they have. Vegas is gonna have the experience, and they just won the cup. Like I said, though, it is hard to go back to back, but they can definitely get back there. And for the East, I feel like if the Bruins didn't win the President's Trophy last year, there would have been so much pressure on them. There are definitely a team up there. Florida, though, for me, it's Florida because Florida they have the experience with Tarasenko. They just made the cup.
So you're saying rematch?
It could be a rematch. I
That's
definitely
awesome.
could see that. I know we hate seeing teams make it again, but that would be a great rematch to see.
That would be, yeah.
And
So
Florida,
for the West, we're split.
Florida, if they win their first cup, I mean, hey, good for them because they've had so many chances to win one.
Yeah. All right.
West we're split, and then the East, it's 2-1-1. So we'll see.
Gans, I'm not going to say the Rangers.
Closer.
Now, I'm not going to say the Rangers, even though I want.
I didn't say the Rangers. I said the Hurricanes. I think they got it.
All right, so I think we're going to go with hockey and baseball today for the Immaculate Grids. That's just I feel like the consensus best sports for us to try to do a good job on. We killed it in football last time. This grid looks terrible for me, though. I
started scratching in my head. I was like,
rarity wise. And by the way, I feel like I always have those moments you could just look at the grid and say, oh, like that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's like once a week for me, but okay.
I mean, so, I could definitely tell. I could definitely get a couple.
We could rip Ovi right here. Or do we want to go Oshie? Maybe did he get 100?
I don't think Oshie ever got up there.
Nah, I wouldn't.
I feel like Backstrom's gotten up in numbers, but I don't know I don't think he's cracked 100 before.
I don't want to smack on that first and get it wrong and then just have it ruined. So
just go with the lock on Ovi.
Yeah.
Mario Lemieux played for the Penguins, right?
Yeah.
Who was the
Okay,
old guy that played
so
for the
Flyers,
Flyers?
Claude Giroux.
yeah, Giroux is, I think, definitely there. He had those great
Yeah,
seasons.
that word.
Yeah.
Kings.
I mean,
Kopitar?
Kopitar could be a sneaky pick.
No, I
Did
don't know
Drew
that he hit
Doughty?
100.
Did Drew Doughty ever do 100?
Nah, I don't think
Oh,
so.
put
I don't
Gretzky.
think
Just put Gretzky.
Kopitar-
put
Yeah, I
Gretzky,
was
put
gonna say
Gretzky.
Gretzky could also go there.
Yeah, we could
Gretzky-
just put Gretzky. You know.
Because I really don't know if Kopitar has ever gotten like 100. That's a lot. Yeah.
I'm interested to see.
I'll take Gretzky.
I'll check on that. Now with these teams, oh man.
Chara could go for Washington, New York.
Yep.
Yeah, we could
Nice.
do that.
All right.
Islanders.
Islanders, Kings. I mean, with the Islanders, I don't know much.
Islanders,
Ducks, Capitals.
Flyers.
It's definitely gonna be some defensemen. I'm telling you right now.
Definitely
Yeah,
thinking of
can't-
I'm thinking of trades that happened recently.
Why are the Ducks on this?
I mean, we can
Yeah.
go Drysdale.
Ruin everything, yeah.
Flyers, Ducks. You can go Jamie Drysdale if you just want to get that out of the way.
Flyers, Ducks, yeah.
Yeah, just go. You can go Drysdale.
Ducks, Kings. Gosh, this boy is so- John Gibson didn't play for the Kings, did he?
No, he's always been.
Did Mike Smith play for the Kings? Didn't he play for the Ducks also?
I feel like he's been everywhere. Same with Talbot. I feel like I could put them for anything.
Talbot played with the Kings. He didn't play on the Ducks, did he?
No, I don't remember seeing him in a Ducks jersey.
I was thinking of who'd I say? I just forgot who I said now.
Capitals, Ducks.
Mike Smith.
Capitals Ducks is like the worst ever combo.
Ugliest thing ever.
Um,
Islanders.
No, Capitals, Ducks. Sonny Milano.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Ducks, Kings.
was I a follow on the Ducks? I know he was on.
Winnipeg.
It was Winnipeg. Okay.
Frank Vetrano work here? Did he play for the Kings?
No.
No, he only played for the Rangers.
Florida Rangers and Ducks in his career.
Bro, I don't know why I'm thinking like Mike
The
Smith.
Flyers Islanders feels easy because we're all from the East Coast, but I just can't
There's
think.
just
of it.
nothing. Yeah. Like,
Wait,
Yeah, I got no clue.
It feels like Dylan.
Oh.
Doesn't it feel like a former Devil that like bounced on both teams?
yeah.
No, I got it. It's Vladimir Fimpola.
Who?
Who was that?
Vladimir V. It's A or L. And then his last name starts with an F. I know he
Just
played
type in the last name F and just
for-
find from there.
F I. No, okay, so it's not
What was his name?
Vladimir Fimpola. I don't know how to spell his name though.
Lattery.
Look it up.
I mean, I could
Flimpio.
definitely just look up the last name, but
Sorry, Lattery Flimpio?
I don't know how to say his last name. F-I-L. I-F-I-P.
Is it?
Yeah, first one right there.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. I bet the other 98% just couldn't spell his name.
Probably, to be honest.
If we finish this, I can't wait to see who that most common Islander flyer was.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no clue.
Islanders, Kings.
There's definitely someone.
There's definitely someone.
Oh, Butch Goring. Didn't he play for the Kings?
Let's go with it. Yeah.
Where does the rest of you? Ducks, Kings.
Here we are. West
I'm
Coast
thinking of
is-
like goalies: John Gibson, Mike Smith.
No, don't.
No.
I think Mike Smith played for the Kings.
I don't think Mike Smith was on the Kings.
Oh, no.
Was
There
he?
was definitely a Kings Ducks trade recently. I feel like.
Wasn't Timu?
No. Timo, no. Sharks.
Talbot. Like I
Nah, Talbot's been a Flame, Ranger.
Here's a Flame, Ranger, King, Shark.
Ducks.
Wait, he's been on the Ducks?
No. He's trying to think.
Ducks.
I literally can't think of a single person.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I don't know. Jack Johnson.
No.
Want to
Who's
run it?
that?
It's basically he's
Guy who
played like for
played,
half the
two-
NHL.
Who got like 2 points for the Rangers?
He's the NHL's Bartolo Colon. Let's see if it works to save the grid. No.
Who was it?
Dustin Penner.
Who is that?
So
Baseball. We got this on baseball.
I'm a lot better rarity score wise when it comes to baseball.
All right.
Yeah.
Word.
we've got
All right.
Mets across here.
So
All right, Mets.
this one's all right. So
But
Cubs
just-
Mets, there's about 50 that'll be under 0.1, like under one.
I'm just saying this now. I'm looking up who played for both of those teams.
Okay.
Just to see what random
Mets, Cubs.
Mets Cubs, you could do Cameron Maben. You could do
Bro, did we
Jonathan
legit make a
VR.
trade?
Jonathan VR works too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll take Maven.
Yeah.
Mets 300 plus batting average season.
Do
McNeil.
DeGrom because he had a
Yeah,
300.
DeGrom.
Oh wow,
What?
that's a play.
That's so like
Yeah, it's cheese, a little cheese, but
that's
of
so
course he hit.
cheesy.
Of course he hit 300 because he's that
Yo,
good.
did we think Bartolo Colon hit 300
Yeah,
for the Rangers?
I don't know.
I don't know.
think
Don't put him yet. Don't put him yet. Don't put him yet. Don't put him
so.
yet.
No. He didn't get hits, dude. That's the joke.
Oh,
Um,
Yare Curry played for both. If anyone
I
knows
can't
who
think
that
of a
is.
single 3,000 strikeout Guardian. Satchel Paige, but that's gonna be high.
CC Sabathia.
I know one, but it's high.
Still gonna be high.
Kluber.
I don't
Kluber's
think
3,000, does
I
he?
don't
He
think
might be
Kluber-
there.
I don't think did Kluber get 3K? It's
3,000 is a
probably someone-
lot. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Everyone's gonna put Nolan Ryan for the Rangers.
Yeah.
Granky.
So you could put just him for the Mets. Can't you just put Nolan Ryan for the Mets?
Will that be high?
That's gonna be high though.
I mean, isn't everyone gonna put him for the Rangers?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good thing.
I mean,
that the Rangers
we
did.
could actually no. That other option would be high. I was gonna say
I'll play it. 13.
13
Not too
13's
bad.
not terrible.
Come on.
I mean, I got one for.
All right, so
Cubs,
it's either Verlander or Scherzer.
I got
mean,
one
not
for Cubs, Texas.
Maybe do Evan Carter for 300 batting average for the Rangers. I think he hit 300 this year when he got cut.
What did Travis Janikowski get? I want to know.
Yeah.
Wait, no, there you go. Cubs, Texas. Drew Smiley works.
Yeah.
Cubs. Oh, I know him. Cubs. Oh my God, Guardians. Hold up.
I know one too.
Oh,
Nice, good pull with Smiley.
Who am I thinking of, bro? Oh,
It's so weird that Smiley was really good this year.
Do we
am I
run
thinking
Satchel
about
Paige
Corey
here?
Kluber? Am I thinking about Corey Kluber?
No,
Does he play for the Cubs?
I mean,
No.
I know one, but I mean, I don't. It might
But
be
who was the
high.
dude who played for both the Cubs and it was a pitcher, bro, who played for both the Cubs and the Guardians?
Did Mike Montgomery play for the Guardians or / Indians?
That's not what I was thinking.
Was it Quintana? Did he play for both?
No,
Quintana. I don't
think-
know if he was a Guardian.
Yeah, I don't think he was a.
Yeah, he
Guardian.
was. I think he was he not?
No.
No, I think he was a Pirate, Cardinal, Cub.
It was a Cardinal. Okay. All
I
right.
mean,
Well,
you said-
Maybe
Scherzer.
David. I think David Robertson might have been
I
Cleveland.
don't. Was he in Cleveland though?
Yeah,
I
wait,
wouldn't
let's come
try it.
back
I
to
wouldn't.
it.
I
think we
wouldn't
come
try
back
it.
to it.
I know someone for it.
I think Scherzer for 3,000 strikeouts for the Rangers.
Please share. Who do we got, Jacob?
Young Gomes.
Yeah, is that going to be high though?
Don't think so.
All right, that's good. That's good. We'll take that.
Wait, Scherzer for Rangers
Texas?
strikeouts? He has 3,000, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's like 10th in the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Do we want to go Page here?
We can go CC.
Just
He is.
oh, that works too.
Whoa. Okay.
That's my fault, gang.
As long as we get it, I don't
I
care.
think the other
300.
guy was- It could be anyone.
I'm gonna have to pull something random. I think we're gonna.
Yo,
have to,
did Ahmed Rosario ever hit 300?
no,
How about
I don't
Jose?
think he even has 300 hits yet.
Did
What?
J Ram?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, J Ram will be as high as it gets, though. I think, right?
I
Make sure we
don't
pick the right one because I think there are two on this website.
know.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
one
the
that's-
recent one.
This
There's
is
one that's
early.
playing now.
Dang.
127.
You know what? We take that. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
I
I'm
think-
curious to see the Mets 3,000 strikeouts because I just didn't know those.
All right.
Tom Seaver, probably.
Scherzer. Fever.
Oh, no, it doesn't. I think you might. Is there a way to filter?
No, it just shows you all time. Scherzer,
Oh, Pedro.
Pedro,
Pedro.
Verlander, and Scherzer, 5.
All right.
Do you want to do football? Because that's what we excelled in last time.
I've got to
We
get
should
going.
we should do the highest rarity score. I feel like that would be fun. You have to shoot for the highest
We
possible.
could try and knock out football next time.
Yeah, we should do that next time because I actually really have to go. But it was a pleasure.
Oh wait,
having-
the Steelers released Allen Robinson. Just like
Oh wow. Okay. Little late news there, but it's great to have you guys on. Really happy to finally write the
Finally.
of the last one. But I'm Dylan Chal. I'm here with Ben Gans and our phenomenal guests, Jacob Kapplan and Ike Busch. And we'll be back to you guys with our next episode. In the meantime, bye. That was a terrible outro. Wow.
Peace.